Hi there, I'm Casey, and today we're going to talk all about ketosis. What the heck is it? How do I get into it? Why would I want to be in it? And what are the benefits of it? Because this is a word that you're probably hearing at least by now, and you want to know more about it. So let's dive in. First of all, your body knows how to run off of two fuel sources. It either chooses carbohydrates in the form of glucose or fats in the form of ketones. Now, our body naturally will run off of glucose if it's present. So we get glucose from obviously sugar sources and any carbohydrate source. So how do we switch from that normal mode of we're burning carbs to I want to be burning fats? So what happens is when our body fully depletes all of the carbohydrates available for it to use, then your liver converts the fat stores into what are called ketone bodies. And these ketone bodies are now the new alternative fuel source. So your body is literally going and recruiting fat stores from your current body and saying, that's what we're using for our main fuel source rather than carbohydrates. So if you're like me, I would much rather be burning fats than just burning sugars. And if you have weight to lose, you definitely would rather be burning fats. So how do we get into this ketosis? Well, the absolute fastest way and most effective way to quickly get your body right into ketosis is to do a 48-hour fast. And that's a fast from all food and any beverage that has a caloric value. It's recommended, I recommend it, and it's highly recommended to use snake juice if you're doing a 48-hour fast. And in my previous YouTubes, I have a one all on snake juice, how to make it, why we want it. Because as you're doing a fast, you're going to notice there are some detox symptoms. It's going to happen, especially if you're a regular carbaholic or sugar eater, because your body's going to start letting go of these carbs and getting rid of them, and it's kind of a cruddy feeling. So when you're using snake juice, it keeps your electrolytes and mineral balances up, so you're not going to have quite as big of swings in the detox, and overall you're going to stay way more hydrated, which is extremely crucial. So that's the fastest way to get into it. So let's say you're somebody that for whatever reason cannot do a 48-hour fast. If that's you and you need to take it a little bit slower, you can eventually get yourself into ketosis by using intermittent fasting, where you're doing like an 18-6 routine. So 18 hours fasting, 6 hours eating, and then removing absolutely all simple carbs from your diet. So a simple carbohydrate is like sugars, processed flours, pastas, breads, grains, anything that is not a complex fruit or vegetable carbohydrate is completely off the table. And then even with fruits and vegetables, not all fruits and vegetables are keto friendly. So you want to look up online and at a list of keto friendly foods so that you can know, okay, these ones are okay for me to be having, because we want to skip things like starchy potatoes and corn and these things that are higher glycemic, because those will not benefit us and they're very high carbs. So once you get yourself into ketosis, you might say, well, how do I know? My body just automatically flips and then I just have to assume that I'm burning fat? Well, no, there actually are ways to test it. And one of the easiest is to pick yourself up some ketone test strips. I'll show you what mine look like. You just pop them out. You can get these at like Walmart, Walgreens, pretty much any drugstore. And so you get your little test strip out, pee into a cup, dip your little test strip in, and then you'll use this line as a guide to see where you're at and to see if you are in ketosis. So if you're not in ketosis, it's going to be negative and it'll be almost like a pale yellow. If you start going into ketosis, you'll get trace amounts turning it to peach and then pink and then a darker pink all the way up to like almost a purple color. So we want to be somewhere in this like darker range, because that really means that our body has fully switched into this ketone burning way of using fuel. And so by using your strips, testing every day, you can go, okay, I'm in ketosis. Now I know I am, so I'm not like questioning whether or not this is working. And then when you have finished your 48-hour fast, you want to do a small refeed. So let's say your goal is to lose weight. If that's the case, when you do a refeed, you want to eat the minimal amount that you can handle and then go right back into another fast. So that might look like 4 ounces of steak, a little side, maybe a half an avocado, and a handful of nuts. And that might be all that you do, or some berries. And that would be a totally perfect refeed. You wouldn't have to go crazy. You don't need to go nuts in eating wide varieties of food. Stick to just a couple really simple things, and then journal that so you can see how your body's responding to those foods that you're eating. By eliminating all of these ingredients that we get from processed foods and just really keeping it to very basic food when we do a refeed, you're going to be so much better off, not only physically, but you're going to be able to really track what your body is enjoying and what it's benefiting from, and then what your body's not agreeing with. Because there's certain things that might for you be great, but for other people it might cause bloating or gas or whatever. So you want to just keep track of your foods so you can really stay on top of this. And then, like I said, if you're trying to lose weight, go right back into the longest fast you can do. So it might be another 48-hour fast and then another small refeed. You can continue this route. And in fact, if you have extra fat stores, you can literally fast as long as you can handle on the snake juice and be totally fine. You could do it for 30 days and you would lose massive amounts of weight. There's truly no way faster to lose weight than to get your body into ketosis and continue it with a fasting routine. So let's say you're not overweight, but you just want to reap all the health benefits of this. So you want to get into ketosis because you know that eating a low carb diet is going to be better for your overall health. So for you, do your 48-hour fast, get your ketone strips, test, make sure that you're in ketosis. And if you are, awesome. Do a small refeed and just keep going into that intermittent fast every day. You want to fast as long as you can throughout the day, in the morning, skipping breakfast, trying to see if you can hold off till at least lunch, and then not eating more than a 6-hour window. And ideally, getting yourself down to the smallest food window you can physically handle is the best, because every time that we eat, even really good foods, it still pumps up our insulin and raises inflammation in the body. And when we have elevated inflammation, we have symptoms and disease, and our body is having to devote 65% of its energy for this digestion mode, rather than saying, okay, well, I'm not digesting, so I can just be healing and repairing and recycling old cells. So that's what we really want. The most amount of time every single day to be healing, repairing, and recycling those cells. So that's how we're gonna stay in it. And you can keep yourself accountable by using your little test strips. They also have breath strips, and you can get your blood tested as well. So my last and favorite thing to talk about is the benefits of being in ketosis and of these long-term fasts. We already discussed rapid weight loss. And again, I will tell you, there is no way that you can lose weight faster and in a more effective way, burning only fats, not burning up your muscle, because we want to sustain our muscle. So this is the absolute fastest way. The other benefit of this is it reverses type 2 diabetes. And maybe you have that, or maybe somebody you know does. Share this information with them, because this is life-changing. It can truly, completely turn around type 2 diabetes. Third, it's a major immune system boost. Overall, your body, when it's not having to constantly be digesting and you're not eating these highly inflammatory foods that have these simple carbs in them, your body overall is going to feel better. And what you're really going to notice is your brain is going to feel better. I have noticed a major shift in how good my brain feels and my mental clarity and everything since I started this routine. So that goes back into the next thing, which is it fuels your brain. So our brain is made up of 70% fat. If we starve it, we start having malfunctioning issues. We start having memory loss. We start feeling foggy brained. We start being more irritable, and it affects our sleep. It affects our mood. It affects so many things. So by using these routines of fasting and a ketogenic diet, you not only are healing and repairing your brain, but you're preventing things like Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's. In fact, they actually even use fasting along with a ketogenic diet for reversing brain cancer. So this is seriously awesome stuff, you guys. Again, another thing it does is it improves your skin. Things like acne and psoriasis will quickly disappear if you begin eating like this and fasting like this. It also reverses PCOS. And lastly, it controls epilepsy. And that's actually why the ketogenic diet was started in the first place, was for epileptics. And it literally gets it totally under control. So again, if you have that or you know somebody that has it, please let them know this so they can start healing their body and feeling the healthiest that they can. just a note, because I have talked to a lot of people that say, oh, I eat the keto diet, I eat ketogenic foods, and then as we begin talking, I'm realizing that maybe they are eating these types of foods, but all they have done in their life is they just transitioned from the standard American 3 meals a day to a standard ketogenic 3 meals a day. And let me tell you, if you do that, you're going to gain weight. You're not going to be losing weight. Yes, it'll still be good for your brain in terms of you're getting that fat, but the problem is when we eat that much, it's high calorie. When we're eating high fat diet, which is this keto diet, which is high fat, low carb, moderate protein, you're going to gain weight if you're eating 3 meals. So you can't do that. You've got to, at the very least, do intermittent fasting, but ideally using it as a tool to be fasting and then refeeding, fasting and then refeeding, and see what happens. You're going to be amazed at the results. And I really, really encourage you, take before pictures. If you don't, you're going to kick yourself and you're going to be like, why didn't I do that? Because now I can't see, because we're the last persons to really see changes in ourselves. Our friends will notice before us. Our family will notice before us. So really get those pictures, start journaling, start keeping track, weigh in daily, and see what will happen. You will be absolutely blown away. I hope this was helpful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Casey Relane, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Have an awesome day.